Firstly, apologies for our delayed arrival. It was sadly out of our hands, but delighted to be joined here by England captain Harry Kane as we preview tomorrow's FIFA World Cup qualifier with Serbia here in Belgrade. When you've got questions, just raise your hand and please state your name and the organisation you work for. And if we can minimise questions to two per person, it would be much appreciated.
Hi Harry, good to see you.
And you?
Look, you've played in some of the biggest and most iconic stadiums in world football. This one seems to have a special feeling about it, and it's probably going to be a pretty intense atmosphere. What are you expecting?
Yeah, it's going to be tough for sure. I played here with Spurs quite a few years ago, so had that experience of it, and yeah, definitely a difficult atmosphere to play in front of. I'd imagine tomorrow will be even more, will be more hostile, and they'll try and make it as difficult as they can for us. You know, it's a big game in terms of qualification for the World Cup. So yeah, we need to be ready. It's going to be a difficult evening, but you know, we've had games like this before, and I feel like we've handled it well, and we need to do the same tomorrow.
If you win this one, and I don't want to get ahead of ourselves, but if you win this one, it feels like it's the key game in qualifying, the toughest game in qualifying. If you win it, will you feel like you've got 1 foot in the World Cup finals?
It'll be a big step in the right direction, of course. Yeah, when you look at the group, this is definitely this and the Albania away games for sure are going to be the two toughest. And yeah, the way the group is poised at the moment, we know that if we win, we take a big step in the right direction. But also, you know, from Serbia's point of view, they know it's a great opportunity for them as well to get their nose in front and go into a great position going into the next camp. So yeah, look, we need to focus on what we can control, and that's going out there and playing the way we know we can. And yeah, it's going to be difficult, but you know, we enjoy these challenges. This is part and parcel of qualifying for the biggest tournament in the world, and we look forward to it.
Okay, please raise your hand if you have a question. Go to the back.
Hi Harry,
Hello.
it's Sam Space ITV. I wonder if you get the sense of frustration, because a lot of the group games that you've had to play in World Cup qualifying, you've come up against teams that will back up against you, play a low block. As a striker who's desperate to score goals, do you get the same sort of sense of frustration as some of the supporters get when they're watching those games?
Yeah, I think it's understandable. You know, every game up until now in this group has been, like you said, against a team that almost are happy to sit back and just kind of try and not make it 4-5-0. So you have to be patient in those moments. I feel like we've had spells where we've handled that well. We've had some moments where we can improve on. I think tomorrow night will be different. I think tomorrow night, you know, Serbia are a really good football team. They will try and play, especially here at home. They will try and probably press us higher up the pitch and make it difficult. But yeah, going back to them games as a striker, you know, it's not going to be tens of chances in the game. You have to kind of take your maybe 1 or 2 that you get. You know, up until the game a couple of days ago, I was able to kind of get on the score sheet. So as a striker, you're happy to help the team. But as always, you're looking at areas to improve, and I still feel like as a team, and we can get better at breaking down low blocks. But ultimately, you know, any team you face now, no matter where they're ranked in the world, if they go in a 5-4-1 and you know, have a good tactical understanding, they can make it difficult, and that's kind of what we've been up against. So, of course, we'd have loved to have won those games, maybe by more goals, but ultimately, you know, we've done what we had to, and we learn from it and move on to the next one.
You come up against someone like Milenkovic tomorrow, you know, have seen in the Premier League, and he's had a good spell with Nottingham Forest. Do you relish that battle?
Yeah, I always want to play against, you know, the best opposition. As a striker, you're going to come up against some great defenders in different aspects. You know, tomorrow will be a physical game. Tall, strong defender that, yeah, I'll have to, you know, maybe try and find different ways to bring the best out in me. But, you know, throughout my whole career, I've loved any challenge. I've loved these type of away games. I feel like they bring the best out in me, so tomorrow will be no different. I know what to expect. I know it's going to be difficult, but yeah, I'm just looking forward to being out there and trying to hopefully help my team get through, get 1 step closer to qualifying.
James here.
Hi, Harry.
Hello.
The Serbian FA have urged their fans not to repeat past issues with discrimination or racism tomorrow night. It's been reported that the players have held a discussion about maybe what to do. Can you give us some insight into what was said and what you are going to do?
Yeah, no, we have a meeting and, you know, we discuss the protocols that are in place more from UEFA's point of view. I don't think we like to discuss it too much. Our focus is on the game. Our focus is on, you know, trying to beat Serbia on the pitch. Yeah, anything can happen, of course, and we're prepared for that. But ultimately, we're not thinking about that. We're thinking about the football game, like the Serbian FA have put out. It's about enjoying the spectacle, enjoying the game, and we hope that's the case tomorrow.
I understand that completely, but obviously it is something you've experienced before. Would you be prepared to take the players off if it happens again?
Well, we're prepared to do what UEFA protocols allow us to do. I thought we handled that situation away in Bulgaria really well, and yeah, it'll be no different. You know, these are things that are hard to talk about now because we don't know if it's going to happen or not. But ultimately, like I said, we're prepared, and we had a discussion as a group, so that if the event does happen, we'll be prepared to do what's necessary.
Thanks, James. Do we have any further questions? Just come hamster at the end. Thank you.
Hi, Harry. The other day you didn't have too many touches, and then you go back to the Euros, people complain that you were having too many touches deep. I just wanted to ask, what is the manager asking you to do? And is the challenge, I guess, for your teammates to find you?
Yeah, I think I've always said in different games against different opposition will always determine that. You know, when you're playing the game a couple of days ago where you're playing against 11 men behind the ball, there's no point really me coming behind the ball as well. We've got enough players who can have those touches and create space. Tomorrow might be a little bit different because if they're trying to press us a little bit higher, it might allow me to come and get the ball and maybe try and bring a bit more tempo to the attack. But yeah, the game the other day was more, I felt like we could have been a little bit more direct with crosses, and you know, both our goals come from that aspect. We got into good areas and maybe sometimes just overplayed a little bit. So yeah, from a striker's point of view, of course I want as many balls in the box, and hopefully I can get on the end of a few of them. But yeah, in terms of my role from the manager, it isn't specific. Each game will change a little bit, and yeah, tomorrow night might be a little bit different to the game against Andorra.
Did you also see what Milinkovic said earlier? He said that he probably won't, or the team won't follow you man to man, they'll wait for you to come into their zone. Is that something you've come across before, when they aren't going to follow you, they're waiting for you to, and how do you deal with that?
Yeah, again, for me, I'll find out on the pitch, obviously. I'm not going to take his word for it because you never know what might happen. But yeah, look, there's games where defenders like to man mark me when I'm in the box, and sometimes I find it better when I drop and then arrive later. I actually find I get more chances that way. And then, yeah, it depends if they're marking zonal. You know, it might allow me to stay higher up and try and get on the end of things that way. So they're all kind of things we look at. You know, we have an idea of how we think they like to defend, how they like to play, but ultimately, until you're out on the pitch, you never really know. And I think that's where, you know, experience and yeah, just game understanding come into it, and you kind of decide then and there.
Hello, Harry. Nikola Lucic, ATV Banja Luka. What do you think is going to be the main difference from that game you played against Serbia on UEFA Euro Championship last year? It was a very tough game. Serbia has pretty much the same team, but you guys have made some changes.
Yeah, we expect a similar game, to be honest. That was a really tough game in the Euros last summer, and I thought for large parts of that game we controlled it well. Probably the second half we look at as, you know, a game that we could have done a little bit better. Serbia were really good in possession, and we struggled to press the way we wanted to. So yeah, tomorrow, you know, we have to go with loads of energy. We have to make it as difficult as we can for them. If we give them too much time, they have enough quality in the team to hurt us. And yeah, so we're going to go aggressive. We're going to try and be on the front foot. As always, it's not the easiest thing to do, especially away from home with the atmosphere, with the crowd. But yeah, hopefully we can come out with that energy and yeah, really take the game from minute one.
In the middle here.
Hello, Slobodan Maricic from BBC Serbia. You mentioned Milenkovic, but how do you see the attacking side of Serbia? Your colleagues, strikers, Mitrovic and Vlahovic could possess a great threat to your spot.
Yeah, some great attacking players. Obviously, Mitrovic I've come up against him in the Premier League quite a lot, and a great goal scorer, physical, hard to handle, uses his body well, switches play well, and then in the box, 1v1, he can be really dangerous. So whoever plays tomorrow night, we know it's going to be, they're going to have threats that we're going to have to stop. We're going to have to defend well. We're going to have to defend our box well. Hopefully we can counter that by having more of the ball and trying to keep the play in their half. But ultimately, like I said, this is a dangerous team. We know from last summer, we know from watching the clips leading up to this game that they can be dangerous, and we have to be ready for that.
Hello, Sara Milicev, Portal. What do you think about that English media criticizing you often? Besides England win every single game, what do you think about that? Media pressure on England, even though you win.
Good question. I think I've been long enough now an England player that sometimes you're going to win football matches, and there's still going to be a big conversation about how we won or what we should have done or who should have played, and that's part and parcel of it. I think we have so many great players in the England team. We have so many great players who are not with the England team, and of course there's always going to be opinions. I think what's important is that amongst the group, amongst us, we know what we're trying to do. We know how difficult some of these games are. We know how frustrating some of these teams can be to play. So ultimately, it's about qualifying. We want to be in America next summer. Sometimes it's taken for granted a little bit. We're just expected to be there, but we know the work we put in. We know the detail in every meeting, in every training session that gets us to where we are. And yeah, that's all we're focused on. We can't control the noise on the outside. That's always going to be there. That's part and parcel of getting to this level, and you just have to deal with it.
Okay, I think we're done. Okay. Just finish here with Harry.
Thank you. Sorry, Harry, one more, if that's okay.
Yep.
We have a lot to write and report, and we've spent a lot of time talking about what the identity is of this England side under Thomas Tuchel now. You know the manager as well as anyone. What would you say he's trying to instill in you as England's identity?
Yeah, I think he's trying to be fearless. He's trying to make us have that energy where we go into any game against any opposition, and this is the way we play, this is the way we press without the ball, this is the way we keep the ball. I don't think the games have been easy to kind of show that so far, like we touched on a little bit earlier. When you're coming up against the same sort of 11 men behind the ball, it can be a little bit frustrating. We probably haven't shown our best qualities. Also, there's been players missing in each camp who are important players. Obviously, Jude not here, Bukayo, Stonesy was here for a little bit. Players who play a big part in what we're trying to build. That's given other players opportunities to show what they can do. But maybe tomorrow night we'll get the best version of ourselves. We'll get the best version of how the boss sees us, and that's what we're trying to do in every game. But look, the messaging we get is that he's happy with us. We're happy in the direction we're going, and hopefully we can show that in the game tomorrow.
Okay, we've got Thomas Tuchel ready to come in, so we'll end it there. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.